Here's 5 of the absolute best mods released that you need for your playthrough. And of course, links to all the mods we talk about will be in the description below. Now let's jump right into it. Now let's take a super quick look at the easiest way to install any mods you want for Starfield. First thing you're going to want to do is head on over to the Nexus Mods website. Link in the description. Once you're there, if you don't already have an account, you're going to go ahead and register for a free one because you need it to download mods from there. Verify your email, create your account, and you're almost set up to start modding. But first, you'll need to create a custom file within the Starfield Documents directory. So open up your File Explorer, navigate to Documents, then to the Starfield subfolder. Now create a new text document and name it StarfieldCustom.ini. Open that file you created up and add the lines you see on the screen right now. I will put those in the description, but I strongly suggest you manually type instead of copy and pasting. It may not work if you do that. Save that, exit out, and we're heading back to Nexus Mods to get to the fun part. We want to do this the easy way, so we're going to download a mod manager, specifically Vortex. You can find it by clicking on Support and grabbing it from there. Click on Manual Download, then install it from your download directory. Once that's done, open up Vortex and navigate to the Games tab on the left. Look for Starfield. You might need to download a Vortex extension that supports modding for Starfield. It's super quick, super easy. And then, if it isn't auto-detected, you'll have to add the game manually by selecting where it's been installed to. If you got it through Steam, it'll be in the Steam Apps folder as usual. From there, you just look for mods you want to install. For this tutorial, let's go with a mod we talked about earlier, Star UI Inventory. Go to the Nexus page, and this part is really important. Read the installation instructions on every mod page you visit. Some will be incredibly straightforward. Some might need a couple extra steps for the more complex mods. Go to Files, select the file you want to download, because some mods have different versions and thus different files, and download it using the Mod Manager option. This will automatically open your Vortex after a few seconds and start downloading the mod. Install and enable the mod, and it should be good to go the next time you jump into Starfield. So there you have it. An easy way to get mods working for you, and just 5 of hundreds upon hundreds of mods that can transform your playthrough of Starfield, whether it's your first or if you're already having a second go at it. There's loads more we've been testing and trying out, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know if you want to see more mod-related videos. Last but not least is Star UI Inventory. We're already spending way too much time in limbo in Starfield when it comes to managing inventory, space traveling, waiting for loading screens. You get the idea. And you don't even have to be a hoarder to feel how limiting and clunky Starfield's inventory is. It kind of lumps everything under broad categories and does little to differentiate between them. For example, it'll put everything under weapons without splitting them up into pistols, shotguns, or melee weapons. There's also no way to sort things effectively by their mass or value, so you're just wasting time digging in menus looking between dumbbells, random food items, and space rocks, wondering what's weighing you down the most. Star UI is an absolute game changer here and makes it so easy to get a general understanding of your inventory with a quick look and make the changes you want fast so you can get back to actually playing the game. You can pretty much immediately see the quality of life difference even to things like knowing which weapons deal the most damage at a glance and how many of each item you're holding onto. This one is a must-have in my opinion because it adds so much value and you feel like you're spending much more time in the action instead of playing an inventory management sim. At number 4, let's talk about 2 mods that I'm going to put under the same UI umbrella that make significant improvements to the whole experience from the very beginning of the game till the credits roll. You know, when you're mid-combat or trying to take in the grandeur of the galaxy while exploring a planet in that annoying location, discovered pop-up plants itself smack dab in the center of your screen. Better HUD fixes not only that, but you can change so many little things in the UI to just completely customize what you see and where you see it. You can make the pop-ups smaller and put them towards the bottom of your screen. Hey, maybe you want to hide hit markers and enemy health bars for that extra challenge and immersion. Another awesome little thing you can do with the mod is hide the crosshair so it only shows up during fights. It's just so good for so many things. Now, one of the most useful features in Starfield is your scanner. Look, the scanner is awesome and helps you with a ton of things. It's something you'll be pulling up a lot. Whether you're scanning the native wildlife, plants and minerals, looking for useful objects around you, or just trying to fast travel back to your ship. So it's a real shame that the big circle in the center of it is annoying and serves as nothing more than visual clutter. The mod Remove Scanner Circle comes in clutch for this and has been one of my absolute favorites. As you probably guessed from the name, it removes that big circle that pops up, and even though it's such a small change in theory, it does a lot for the overall look and feel of the UI. It's way less jarring now to quickly do a brief scan for objects around me anytime I enter a busy room or lab. Next up for number 3, you know that forced zoom in that Starfield has during dialogue where it pans to and locks onto the NPC's face in a way that's a little too up close and personal? It can be a little immersion breaking at times, especially since some NPCs are better viewed from a slight distance. That's where the very fittingly named No More Zoomed In Dialogue Cameras mod comes in. It sets the camera at a believable distance so you're not tunnel visioning towards characters' nostrils anytime you want to exchange a few words with the Starfield locals. Even though you still can't move around and interact with anything else, it does add to the overall immersion being able to still see more of the world around you, especially since some of those conversations can get pretty long when you're exhausting every dialogue option. Moving on to number 2, Vanilla Starfield kind of dropped the ball on FOV options. Now, if you've got the patience of a saint, you can wrestle with the settings yourself by exiting the game, tweaking the ini files, going back in and repeating that over and over till you get it right. But for those of us who'd rather spend their time flying through the stars than fiddling with stuff like that, the in-game FOV changer mod is a godsend. With it, you can toggle between first and third-person views, use a quick and easy console command by hitting the tilde key, choosing a value between 70 and 120, and dial in that perfect field of view. For context, Starfield's out-of-the-box FOV sits at a snug 85 for first person and 70 for third. If you really want to change your perspective, I suggest firing up the mod, cranking your FOV to 95 or 100, and you can definitely see the difference that makes in the way you view the world around you. And the best thing is that it's a one-time change, so you're not having to play around with it every single time you exit or boot up the game. Kicking us off is easily the must-have mod of the week. Neutral LUTs. No color filters, and no, this is not a reshade mod. It's actually much simpler, barely affects performance, and wow, does it make a world of difference in Starfield. All it does is peel back those muddy blue and green filters the game has by default for some reason, and make the true colors and beauty of the worlds, cities, and objects shine through. It's actually amazing how desensitized you become to the way things come out of the box with Starfield, especially after playing for a few hours. Like when I first started playing, I did find it a bit weird how all the colors were so muted, and it kind of felt more like a sci-fi movie's color grade than a diverse galaxy, but you get used to it so you don't realize what you're missing until you try this mod out. The result is raw, unfiltered, and gorgeous interiors, vistas, and locations anywhere you go. It honestly did so much for my immersion and enjoyment of the game's visuals that if I had to pick one and only one mod to use, it'd have to be this. So if you don't want to mess with too much of the default game systems or UI and want as authentic of a first-time experience as possible while having Starfield look its best, this is the one.